let's talk a bit about Cyberpunk 2077 after 2 years. Okay, now it's nearly November 2022. The game came out in 2020. So 2 years, they said how the game was getting better and better non-stop, how they fixed the game with a lot of patches, okay? And I seen that it was trending on Twitter. So I was like, fuck it, I'll test it again, let's go, because I rated this game slightly above mediocre on my review 2 years ago when I finished it. I don't know what was the score, 6, 7 out of 10. I believe it was closer to 6. And truth to be told, the game was absolute garbage. And now I'm back because a lot of people hype the game out like it's a remaster, okay? And what I encountered is exactly the same game like 2 years ago. That just works better, or better to say, just optimized better. Everything else remained the same. Maybe a smaller amount of bugs, but bugs, they still exist, and you encounter a bug on every 5 minutes. While on a release date in 2020, Cyberpunk had a bug on every 30 seconds. So now it's 5 minutes and it was on 30 seconds. That's the difference. Huge disappointment from Cyberpunk. These are the same devs that created Witcher. Unreal. I would never say, if I don't know, I would never say that the same devs created Cyberpunk and Witcher. First of all, I don't even know from where to start. I don't want to rate the game like I did it in my review. I just want to talk about what's changed and why I think so. And we can start, like in my reviews, with a story. The only thing that keeps this game from crumbling is the story, but not in the terms that story is well written, but in the terms that they got Keanu Reeves, okay? And they killed the best NPC at the start of the game, Jackie Wells. Veles, whatever. If not for Keanu Reeves, this game would be on a level of Bethesda's crap games like Fallout, Skyrim, or Ubisoft's Assassin's Creed. Complete AAA garbage. Let's be real, Skyrim might be good with 1000 mods, but I used to play Skyrim on day one when it was released, and I can't even call it bugfest. Okay, Cyberpunk, on its release date, was also a freaking bugfest. But aside from that, we talk about the story. Bad writing, the only good parts are with Keanu Reeves when V is talking with him. And not all of them are good. A lot of them are also cringe, okay? Words that they're using, chumba, delta out, and so on, is such a fucking Hollywood crap that I can't stand it, okay? Cringe. The game is cringe. Story is cringe. Writing is crap. And these are the same devs that did Witcher. Why was Witcher that good? Because it was done by the book. They had an actual artist for the story. While here, it was some scumbag that doesn't even know how to write for Cyberpunk. What else can I say about the story? They had good concept, they fucked it up. The game went on 15 different sides at once. Your telephone is ringing non-stop. You do one quest, telephone rings 10 times in a row. interrupts you. The game throws missions at you. Okay, side quests, gigs, side quests. And all of those side quests, 95% of those side quests were fetch quests. Fetch this, fetch that. Steal this, steal that. Kill that, kill this. But main story is actually worth it, but it's very short. Extremely short. So in terms of story, for the Cyberpunk, this is the game that's worth playing only once. Even though it has, I don't even know how many different endings. On my first run I seen 5 or 6, now I seen another ending, okay. I don't know how many endings there are, I seen a lot. And it doesn't matter how you start also, whether you start as Corpo. I played as Corpo on my first run when the game was out. Now I play as a street kid. And there is the third class also. Background. It's all the same. Just the start is different. The first hour, after that everything is the same. It doesn't change a thing what you pick. It's all again a big fat lie. Okay. So it's only worth playing for the first time without spoilers, so you can experience the main story. If you go for the side quests, these are not side quests from Witcher, they gonna ruin your time, they gonna be extremely boring, repetitive and fetchy. So just stick with the main quest. There are some side quests that are fun, talking about a serial killer with a police officer. Maybe some quests with Panam. And that's about it. Main quests, those with Kimura, with Keanu, with Silverhand, with Rogue, those are good. But again, writing sucks. That would be for the story. Nothing changed, okay? 2 years later, nothing changed. It's the same shit as it used to be. As far as game bugs and optimization goes, I already said game works a lot better, a lot smoother on ultra settings. It's optimized better. As far as bugs go, there's a bug on every 5 minutes, tons of glitches, NPCs disappearing and appearing out of nowhere, cars appearing and disappearing out of nowhere, things dropping off the floor, you step on something, you collapse the entire floor, okay. Ragdolls, God forbid, man. Like, it's a disaster. It's a bigger disaster than when Bethesda or Ubisoft released their games. And this is 2 years later. After patching. It's such a big disaster. They changed nothing. Only the game works better. It's a disaster. Complete disaster. I could spend an hour talking about all the crap that I've seen, but I don't want to waste time. This is a very extremely buggy game. Unrepairable. 2 years ago, I said that the game is unrepairable, and I meant it, okay? Then I seen Twitter and how people are praising the game, and I was like, okay, I'll give it another shot. Again, I see the same crap. As far as game time goes, it depends how crazy you are. If you're gonna do all of these side jobs, if you're gonna kill all cyber psychos, if you're gonna do all gigs, if you're gonna buy all apartments, and if you go for all of those fetch quests, and on the map there's like encounters, okay, cop encounters, I don't know what, a lot of different encounters. So if you're gonna do all of that, this is a long game. It's 100 hours long game. If you stick with the main story, it's around 20 hours long game. That will be the game time. When it's on sale, it's worth buying. Not more than 20 bucks. Because the game ain't worth more than 20 bucks. Replay value is close to 0. Even though it has multiple endings and multiple beginnings. Like 1% of the game at the start is different on a replay, and 1% at the end is different. 98% are exactly the same in the middle, so that's 0 replay value. And of course, you need to be crazy to replay this. This game reminds me on console ports, console shit AAA titles with a lot of collectibles. And that's how it steals time from a player. Okay? On bullshit. And now comes the fun part, is the game difficulty. I played on very hard, on a release date and now. AI is still the same, completely brain dead. It doesn't matter whether you want to go with stealth, with melee, shooting, shotguns, rifles, snipers, AI is bloody brain dead. It doesn't matter when you level up whether you're gonna invest into body, reflexes, technical ability, into handguns, shotguns, blades, I don't know what, okay, out of all of the entire skill tree. You can finish the entire game on very hard difficulty without a single point invested. So that means you can erase everything from the skill tree because it doesn't change a thing. Cyberpunk is probably one of the worst AIs that I've seen in my life in a AAA title. One of the worst AIs. They're blind, deaf, bugged, stupid, glitched. Repetitive and boring. So it doesn't matter on what difficulty you play on. The game is freaking brain dead. And it holds your hand. From start to finish, the game holds your hand. On top of it all, exactly the same shit like 2 years ago. If not even worse. It even feels easier than it used to be. Maps and graphics. These are ultra settings. I also tested the game with ray tracing. It's even worse. Looks like garbage. The only good thing are face animations. That's the only good thing in a game. As far as breathtaking environment and so on, look at the sky. It's like you went into paint, took a blue color, and painted all with blue. Same applies for all environments. Okay, desert and the city. Bland, low amount of detail. Garbage game. That would be the graphics. As far as map goes and UI is good. It looks great. World map, I mean city map, is easy to navigate. This part is done well, but it was good 2 years ago. Also, nothing changed. Okay, same what I said in my review 2 years ago, I can say now, so I'll just fucking skip maps and graphics. There's not much to speak about it. Someone will like maybe these graphics, okay? I do not. They suck. It's empty. The world is washed, okay? Washed. 90 and when I say 90%, I mean it. 90% of the night city is empty. Empty. No NPCs, no cars, nothing. Nothing. Not a fucking tree. Nothing. Empty. All of this is empty. All of this is empty. All of this is empty. Completely unfinished game. Everything's empty, man. The city that never sleeps is the night city. The city of rock. Zero rock. No one in the city. The city that never sleeps. Especially during night. As far as gameplay goes, I already said. It holds your hand. It's repetitive. It's boring. It's full with fetch quests. It's not challenging at all. It's garbage. What's the good part of the gameplay? It's definitely not driving and driving mechanics. Worse driving mechanics ever. Worse ragdolls ever. The best part is reloading a weapon. That's the best part, when you reload a weapon. Okay. Reloading a weapon feels good. Alright. Like. See? It feels good to reload a weapon. Every weapon has its own specific animation of reload, and shooting feels nice. Shooting feels nice. Duck and cover system and so on. Shooting feels nice, but what's the point of having a good shooting system when AI is brain dead? Stealth also. Stealth reminds me a lot on Dishonored. It's done well, but again, what's the fucking point when the AI is brain dead? Basically, AI ruined gameplay. Bad ragdoll mechanics, bad driving mechanics, all of that took a shit on a game. Okay, there is a good game behind all of those things that I said, but it's so much crap that it's unfixable, man. The game would be 10 times better if it was linear, if it lasted for 20-30 hours, one linear game without a world map, from mission to mission to mission, and they polish all of that out, and then you have a perfect game in an open world that's empty, full with crap, with so many bugs. It's just a disaster. Is it fun to play only on a first playthrough? Because of the story. Again, I say Keanu Reeves keeps things rolling because you want to see what's gonna happen. Okay, when it's your first run, what's gonna happen at the end. But that doesn't save a gameplay. As far as leveling and itemization go, it doesn't matter. All of this that you see in a backpack. No matter the difficulty you play, and again, I played on very hard. All of this that you see, all of these consumables, weapon attachments. Where was it? Shards. No, not shards. Was it? Where was it? Cyberware. Oh, what do you attach? You don't need a fucking thing. You just need double jump. There's a lot of variety in this. Okay, you got cybernetics, you got character upgrades, and it seems like when you enter the game, like, wow, there's a lot to do, and then there's a huge inventory, a lot of different weapons, a lot of this, a lot of that, and then you realize that it doesn't matter, man. It's the game is completely out of balance. It doesn't matter what you equip. I don't even wish to discuss that. No matter what you put, from the equipment, you look like an idiot. From the start of the game till the end, you're gonna look like a fucking weirdo idiot along the way. It's a disaster. A rich leveling system and a rich itemization with very rich skill tree, and none of that matters for the actual gameplay. Okay, like you got gameplay here, and instead of having leveling and itemization combined into it, okay, this is leveling, and this would be over here. It would be leveling and itemization. Like it's a different game. They do not merge at all. Disaster. NPCs and enemies. NPCs are better than other similar games to Cyberpunk, like Fallout and so on. They're not as generic. They got a bit of character, okay, NPCs, but the writing is bad. For this part, I can easily say it again, Takemura and Keanu Reeves are saving the day. Without those two, this game would be a disaster, even in this sector, with NPCs and enemies. As far as enemies go, I think there were 2 boss fights in total, main bosses, and 17 cybers or 18 cyber psychos. It would be very cool if the AI wasn't brain dead again, but it is. Enemies, robots and humans, that's about it. Extremely brain dead robots and humans. As far as music and sound goes, crap radio tunes. The only good station is Rock Station. And the best thing that I got from this game is Never Fade Away song. I like it a lot. Chipping in too, Black Dog. I like Supreme. Those 4 songs are brilliant, but you can rarely hear them in the game because of other 90 crap tunes. But that's a good part in the game. The best part in the game, aside from Keanu Reeves acting, would be those 4 songs that you can almost never hear. Sound effects are nice. Voice acting is good. More than good. Voice acting is great. After 2 years, I played it again. God gave me patience to finish it, because I was running out of patience, because I played exactly the same game like 2 years ago. Unrepairable crap. Okay, I can't say it's crap. I'm pissed because it ain't good. It ain't crap, but I'm pissed because it ain't good. That's the best explanation. It's above mediocre game. What I gave it in my review, 6 out of 10. Nothing changed, it remains 6 out of 10, and it's always gonna be 6 out of 10, and now they're gonna release a DLC. Freaking jokers. They gonna release a DLC for the game that's 90% empty and full with fetch quests. Now you're gonna release a DLC. In this bugfest, you want to release a DLC for Cyberpunk. I'm even afraid for Witcher now. When they're gonna release Witcher, they're gonna ruin another franchise. If the same devs that did Cyberpunk do Witcher 4, or call it like new Witcher franchise, new trilogy, man, it's gonna be bad. It's gonna be a mega bad. Do I recommend playing Cyberpunk again to those that already played it? No. To those that never played Cyberpunk, yes. And stick to the main story only. It doesn't matter what difficulty you pick. It's a ruined game. Unrepairable game. That probably the biggest disappointment, not probably, for sure, the biggest disappointment of 2020 when it came out. The biggest flop. But probably the biggest flop in the last 5-10 years. It's over there with No Man's Sky in terms of disappointment, hype versus disappointment. Okay, No Man's Sky, Cyberpunk, 10 empty spots, and everything else. That's where the game belongs to, like in a huge disappointment. A letdown. Complete letdown. Yeah, I heard the same about Cyberpunk, that it got better with patches. And it's the same. It just ain't worth it. Let's be real. It ain't worth it. Garbage game. Okay, what we can do now?